Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to today's pick a card reading, and it is spirit guide messages. So there's three groups as normal. So just go with it, whichever one jumps out to you the most, or whichever one you feel most intuitively guided towards. If you need to pause the reading to choose, that's a good idea. So welcome to anyone new, welcome to anyone returning. I hope you're doing great today. This reading is intuitive, it's also general, so if some of the messages don't resonate with you, just take what does and leave what doesn't. Don't forget guys, if you do want a private reading with me, you need to check the description box below. There's a link to do it there. And also, I do post on TikTok and Instagram every day, daily cards, short readings on different things. So be sure to check that out as well. Okay, so let's get on with today's reading, and it is spirit guide messages. Let's find out what the guides have got to tell you. So this can be any topic, group one. So you may have a topic in mind, or maybe you're just wanting general advice, okay? So we've got three tarot/oracle cards here for clarification. So your spirit guide messages are the High Priestess, Judgment, and the Chariot. For all very strong major arcana energy. So what you may find is that at the moment in your life, it's not so much that there's a lot happening on an everyday level, although there may be, but more that big themes in your life are changing and altering. They're asking you to really wake up to something and move forwards with something. Let's find out what. Okay, this makes sense. I've chosen a romance angels because I like to use these for unusual situations, not just romantic. It says wedding, but I'm using this as a symbol of commitment. So there's some sort of commitment that you're trying to move on from or move into. There's like changes and challenges, if you like, around commitment. We've got awaiting results, which is the Seven of Coins. Yes, so they're asking you to think carefully about what you're doing. That makes sense. And solar plexus chakra. Yeah, you've got to be in your light. You've got to be taking action from a position of personal power. And that you need to connect with your personal power in order to move this situation forwards, okay? So that's what they're saying. The High Priestess is asking you to be very intuitive. There's a real need for you to connect with your divine feminine energy if you're a female or identify with the feminine. There's a real need for you to be extremely intuitive. Be aware of signs and signals. They're trying to help you and guide you through signs and signals. There may be some things that are unclear. There could be a bit of mystery. It might be freaking you out a little. There may be some anxiety. But the key thing to notice here is that actually you can move forwards on this. Absolutely 100%. You've got Judgment here, which is a breakthrough, an aha moment where intuition and instinct meet. Intuition and intellect meet. And you have a bit of a revelation about how to move forwards in your life. This is going to move everything forwards, and that's why we've got the Chariot coming after it. You're going to see movement forwards in this area of your life, which I feel is about commitment of some sort or other. So for some of you, it's that you're trying to get away from a certain commitment. For others of you, it's that you're trying to move into a commitment. And then there's another group of you who are trying to negotiate a commitment. But it's all about commitment. And it's about trying to work out what's best for you, awaiting results. They're saying the way to know what's best for you is to take a pause. It's not for very long. It might be a day. It might be a couple of hours. They're asking you to just pause and think. Where are you plunging all your energy into? What is it right for you? Is it worth it for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, be intuitive about how much effort and energy you're putting into a situation. You can succeed. You definitely can succeed, but you've still got a way to go. You're going to have to focus and put some strong energy forward. You see with the Chariot, there are some blocks, there are some obstacles, there are things in the way, but you can actually succeed. You need to have some sort of revelation, some sort of aha moment, a light bulb moment, a breakthrough moment. You're going to have this moment at some point fairly soon. When you do, this will help you to know how to move forward and how to move along in this situation. You need to connect with your personal power. There are probably people or situations that are casting a shadow over your situation and you feel a bit unsure about how to best move forwards. But actually, if you connect with your true self, give yourself a moment just to kind of think about what's best for you. You will find you start to move forwards, okay? There's a massive need to be intuitive, though, and to follow the signs from the universe. Hope this makes sense. Loads of love to you. I will see you on the next reading, on a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys. Hi, group 2. How are you doing? I hope you're amazing today. So we've got a few oracle cards here for clarification. So we're looking at your spirit guide messages. We've got the Page of Cups, the Hermit, the Eight of Swords. Okay, this makes sense. So their message for you regarding this topic that you're wanting to know about, or in general, is there is great opportunity for you, but if you go up in your head, you're going to be freaked out. You may be looking at what's wrong in the situation or worrying about what could go wrong. You may be creating a lot of fear. There may be a lot of fear in your head around this situation, but actually there is wonderful opportunity around you at the moment, but you're going to have to dig deep and listen to your inner wisdom and follow the light of love. And when I say love, I mean spiritual love, you know, follow the light of your soul, really. And let's look at this clarification. Yeah, okay, moving on. Eight of Cups, Nine of Swords, okay, darkest fears, and soulmate. I'm using the Romance Angels here just because I like to do it as a bit of a twist. It's an unconventional way of using the Romance Angels because it's not a romantic reading, but I like to do it. I think it's interesting. It just adds a little bit of something different to the reading, and I read them intuitively. So the soulmate means about coming from the heart and soul, and this is so clear in your current situation. Basically, down here in the darkest fears, this is sleepless nights, fear, anxiety, depression, stress, a feeling of heaviness, a feeling of, you know, you don't feel like you can quite get there. There's this sense of anxiety and worry and really almost self-fulfilling prophecies of doom, you know, is how I always think of the Nine of Swords. The Eight of Swords, again, it's being trapped in your own mind, worrying. You have a lot of fear around this specific topic or in life in general at the moment. But in actual fact, you've got an amazing opportunity. If you don't think it's there, it's because it's kind of out there. It's not your conventional opportunity. It's something a little bit different. It's something a little bit unusual. It's a great opportunity, but the only way you've got a chance of seeing it is if you're really open, you're not too afraid, and that you listen to the universe, you know, because it's going to be something that if you think about it, if you just follow intellect, you're probably not even going to see the opportunity because it's a bit weird or a bit different or it's not what you would normally look for or expect as a solution to your situation. That's what they're asking you with moving on to do. Leave behind an old way of doing things. Leave behind the old way of working out problems or working out this problem, whatever it is. It's time to be intuitive. The Hermit is all about taking some solitude, some quiet time to yourself, whether it's a few hours or a few days or a few weeks. For each one of you, it's going to be different. But it's about connecting with yourself deeply and moving on from an old pattern, an old habit. It's an old habit or pattern that creates a lot of fear. It creates a lot of anxiety. It might not be obvious that you're anxious. You might not feel like you are. What it does is it creates a busy mind. Yeah, where your mind is going, where you feel restless, where you feel agitated frequently. This is because you're up in your head, and this creates a sense of disconnection and isolation, if you like, from your heart and soul and from your spirit. Because if you're chattering in your head and totally identified with it, it's really hard to connect with your true self. So they're asking you with this soulmate card. The soulmate isn't about romance here because it's you. I'm just using it as a symbol. It's about coming from the heart and soul and moving on from patterns that are to do with being up in the head all the time. exclusively problem solving your situation, you know, trying to work everything out intellectually. It's time to move on from that. It's time to listen to inner wisdom. It's time to go deeper. It's time to move on from outdated patterns and behaviors and cycles. It's time to have a childlike, not childish, a childlike attitude towards the future. There's a wonderful opportunity for you to start moving in the direction of a solution here, moving in the direction of fulfilling a wish or a dream that you have. But in order to connect with the opportunity, you've got to be childlike. You've got to have an open heart, mind, and spirit. You've got to be totally open to the universe bringing you a solution, because it's going to be something unconventional. And if you insist on it looking logical and looking as you would expect, you are likely not to even see the opportunity. So I hope this makes sense. Loads of love. I'll speak to you on the next reading, on a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys. Take care. Hi, lovely one. I hope you're great today. So we're looking at your spirit guide messages. We've got a few oracle cards here for clarification. So your spirit guide messages are Nine of Swords, the Empress, the Hierophant, clarified with, I'm using Romance Angels because it's fun to use the Romance Angels in an unconventional way, i.e. not a romance reading. So we've got healing family issues. It's just a symbol. So, and for you, this is very general anyway. Healing family issues doesn't have to be romantic, of course. In fact, it's not romantic at all. Win or lose, and seek, which is the Hermit. Which is funny because we had the Hermit in the last group. So interesting, drop me a comment if you chose group 2 and 3 to answer your situation, because that would be kind of funny if you did, because you've got a double Hermit here, which means if you did choose 2 and 3, I think 1 or 2 of you have. If you chose 2 groups to answer your question, if you've got double Hermit, there's absolutely a necessity to take some time to yourself and do a little bit of what we would maybe call in everyday life soul searching, yeah? Connecting with yourself for the answers or the guidance that you seek, okay? Right, there's some fear. There's some fear regarding this situation you're in at the moment, or the question that you have. Nine of Swords says you're fearful. You could be losing some sleep over this situation. You're certainly a bit anxious. You're a bit worried. You kind of, you could be actually dealing with depression or clinical depression or anxiety. But at the very least, you feel stressed about your situation. And maybe at times, like, you feel like you can't cope with your circumstance. There may be a bit of hopelessness going on, and a sense that you're seeing the worst in a situation, or you're expecting the worst. But there's a massive need for you to, this is a kind of a pocket of negativity, because I think on the whole, you are connected to a higher level energy. You seem to be this Empress energy, which is a higher level energy. It feels to me like on the whole, you are very mature, and that you are very self-actualized, as in, you know, you're creative, you're doing a lot of what you want in your life, you know, you're kind of on track with things in many regards. They're saying that you're on the right track with many things, but there's just some fear around a specific situation perhaps, or a particular topic. The point is here that with the Five of Swords, there's a need for you to do it differently. Do it in a different way. It's probably an old family pattern that is still hanging around, okay? It's time to let go of that pattern. Forgive your parents. It says your life benefits as you forgive your parents, okay? So let me just move that up so you can see it. So yeah, forgive your parents. Forgive and heal family issues or ex-partner issues. You know, there's a need to let go of the past. This old way of dealing with things, this old fear, this old anxiety is actually keeping you stuck in a bit of a pattern. There's a need to let it go, okay? The Hierophant and the Hermit are such strong energies about connecting with inner wisdom, both of them. The Hierophant is about being a student and a teacher. This is about listening to inner guidance. This is about being guided in general, but being guided to something of a higher nature. There's a need for you to stick to your path, for you to be resilient, for you to focus very strongly on where you're going and what you're doing, okay? With the Hermit card, there's a real need for you to take some time to yourself to know how to do that. Some of you could feel that at the moment, that you are isolated because of the Seek card and the Nine of Swords. There could be a feeling that you're very alone. You might feel lonely. You might feel isolated. But actually, you need to look at it differently. This is a time for you to self-actualize. This is a time for you to create. This is a time for you to move forwards and manifest more and more of what you want in your life, okay? So it's a good time for you. But in order to make the most of the situation, you have to do something differently. With this Five of Swords, you have to let go of an old way of dealing with it and try something new. There's something that you need to walk away from, some old pattern, some old habit that you need to let go of. You already know what it is because your higher self and your inner wisdom is telling you what it is. If you can walk away from this, you're going to ascend, you're going to have a higher level energy, you're going to do really well. Hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. I will see you on the next reading, or on a private reading in the meantime. Don't forget to check the description box below for the extra readings on Instagram and TikTok. Loads of love, guys. I'll see you soon.